entered into this golden line of prophecy. We are experiencing fitness, struggle, temptation.
Living in the book of Revelation, no more fronting and faking. Man, we moving and shaking, immune to the hating. Back to the conversation, back to the condition of the nation. Prophecy fulfilled with every step that we taking. Grip the book and keep them shook with all these plays that we making. Illuminated, it ain't no way that you mistaken. It ain't no way that we playing. Feel what I'm saying? We gonna always rally back, it ain't gonna be on the lane. So let's talk about this trauma bond that we have with Egypt and everything that is Egyptian. Let's talk about how we love oppression and misery as we have bound ourselves to a life of spiritual prostitution that has physical ramifications, okay? So we find that the Quran, Surah Yunus, that's the 10th surah of the Quran, the 83rd ayat. It echoes what we find in the book of Isaiah. And we understand that this is relative to our condition and our position. As we are living in the book of Revelations, we are living in the golden line of prophecy whereby all things that have been spoken are being fulfilled. And so we find in the Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فما أمن لموسى إلا ذرية من قومه على خوف من فرعون وملئهم. So it says that none believed in Moses except for some of his people. We know that the Quran also says وَيُحِقُ اللَّهُ الْحَقَّ بِكَلِمَاتِهِ وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْمُجْرِمُونَ. And Allah by his words doth prove and establish his truth, however much the sinners may hate it. So we find that there was a faction amongst the people of Israel, our ancestors, who believed Moses. But then it says that the others did not. Why? And it was because of the chiefs and the fear of persecution. Let's talk about fear for a moment, as we understand that fear is an influence of the will. And in the same sense today, many are afraid. They are bound and suppressed because of fear. And then we find another word here, because of the Pharaoh's chiefs. But when we break down that word mala, okay, it signifies fullness, okay? As the leader or chief fills the eyes of the people with awe and their hearts with attraction. So we understand that being afraid and then being filled with the attraction and having our hearts full with awe behind that which brings oppression. He tells us in the book of Isaiah, he says, because you have despised what I tell you and trust instead in oppression and lies. He talks about Judah's worthless treaty with Egypt, the ways of oppression and misery, as the name Masar or Mitzrayim implies. The book of Isaiah chapter 30, what sorrow awaits my rebellious children, says Yahweh. You make plans that are contrary to mine. Why? Because you're afraid. And because your hearts are full of infatuation with evil. You have flirted with the devil and made an alliance. We find this is the reality today. As it was prophesied in the book of Revelations, they will be what? In wonderment at the beast. They will be in love and infatuated. What are they infatuated with? The scripture tells us that he is making falsehood and lies and deception have a false glow and show the illusion of success and prosperity. He's giving them a false shine, a false glory. And by this, many shall fall by the wayside. But he says, for without consulting me, we don't even consult Jehovah anymore. We're ready to sell out. We're ready to chase the bag and don't even realize that money can't save us in the condition we're in, because we have a problem in our heart. He said, you've gone down to Egypt for help, and you've put your trust in the Pharaoh's protection. You've tried to hide in his shade. By trusting Pharaoh, you'll be humiliated. And by depending on him, you will be disgraced. It says he will not help you. Instead, he will disgrace you. This is what we see happening in Hollywood. This is what we see happening on social media. The judgments have come to bear. We're witnessing them. We even feel them. Okay? But it's all because of fear and being infatuated with the false glitter of evil that has been manufactured by this Antichrist system in order to discombobulate your mind and to confuse you through your emotions and lead you by your desires to your destruction. You said, no, we will get our help from Egypt. They will give us swift horses for riding into battle. Huh? You see these people all over the world. They put trust in those false riders. They put confidence in that which cannot save, never realizing that a lot of people that say that they're riding with you are not riding for you. He said, but the only swiftness you're going to see is the swiftness of your enemies chasing you. One of them will chase 1,000 of you. 5 of them will make all of you flee. What sorrow awaits those who look to Egypt for help, trusting in their horses and chariots and charioteers, and depending on the strength of human armies instead of looking to the Lord. What sorrow awaits those people who have pierced themselves through for the love of money and greed. Oh, what sorrow awaits those of us who have no expectation in the promise of the Lord in this last and evil day, but we have put our trust and traded our hope in paper money, in fleeting illusions that are to be pursued and never attained or realized. He said, the Holy One of Israel, in his wisdom, the Lord will send great disaster. He will not change his mind. He will rise against the wicked and against their helpers. For these Egyptians, these oppressors that you follow and that you love so much and try to imitate and want to be just like and are afraid of, are nothing but what? Humans. They're not gods at all. Their horses are puny flesh, not mighty spirits. And when the Lord raises his fist against them, those who help them will stumble, and those being helped will fall. They will all fall down and die together. We've got to put our trust in the Most High and not in the gimmicks, the satanic gimmicks that will manifest and that have manifested in this hour. There are those who have been called, and now it is time to step into your place. But we can't do this in a mindset of negligence. We must be prepared. We must be diligent because the time is at hand. We must prepare ourselves for these great works that lie ahead, the building of Yahweh's kingdom. Because your heart is pricked when you see the wicked succeeding in their falsehood. You feel the sense of envy and jealousy. You feel a longing and a hankering and a desire. Don't be deceived. That being understood, we cannot be deceived. The scripture tells us in the book of Matthew that there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and they shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they would even fool the elect. Asaph wrote in the book of Psalms in the Tehillim, but as for me, my feet almost slipped. I had nearly lost my foothold, for I envied the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. When he saw the illusion of prosperity His emotional state, his mental state became unclear. It shook him to his core because his senses had been deceived. His senses had been affected. And as we find it in the New Testament, this is the Mega Simeon, the great phenomenon, the great false phenomenon that shall arise at the end of time, that is powerful enough to move us in our emotional state and to move us in our sentiments and to move us in our will and our desires and shape us and mold us. We cannot be deceived. We find in the Quran, فَلَا مَأَلْكُ سَحَرُوا أَعْيُنَ النَّاسِ وَاسْتَرْهَبُوهُمْ وَجَاءَهُ لِسَحْرٍ. So when they threw, they bewitched the eyes of the people and struck terror into them.
So
for they showed
pharaohs
a
in your
great
life playing
feat
with
of magic.
shadows.
And that is the influence of this synthetic society, this fabricated phenomenon, this end time paradigm. It is an illusion that is meant to affect you spiritually. What is spiritually? Mentally. It is meant to destabilize you and to recreate you, to transform you into your lower self, your lower vibrational self, where you only heed and you're only aware and conscious of physical signs and cues. This makes you easily led and docile. Don't be deceived by the illusion of power that needs your will and your consent to be powerful and to be great, to thrive and survive.